And later today, state police are going to be back to work looking at this idea of making a new rule that no kids will be allowed in patrol cars when there's an emergency.
You see, an officer recently crashed his car with his 4-year-old inside. Officials say state police officer Jose Urbano slammed into another driver on Unser and Ladera, causing a chain reaction. It happened about 2 weeks ago. The officer had just gotten a call to go to Los Lunas to help find 2 men wanted for murder. Well, state police say Officer Urbano told them that he was rushing to drop his son off at the babysitter's while on his way, which is not against any rules right now.
There's no certain policy. It's just, you know, it would have been great if you would have said, you know what, I've got my kid, I'm going to drop him off on the way home, notify a supervisor, and he probably would have been okay.
State police say Urbano was cited because running red lights and sirens doesn't give an officer the right to run a red light if it is not safe and clear. Now, no one was seriously injured in the crash. Your New Mexico driver's license may not mean much a month from now. The nation's Real ID Act is scheduled to take effect January 15th, meaning you have to use your passport to fly or go to labs or any other federal facilities. You see, the Real ID Act involves strict federal rules aimed at keeping terrorists off planes. New Mexico is one of 37 states that is not in line with the law, mainly because illegal immigrants are able to obtain driver's licenses here. Governor Susana Martinez has been trying to repeal the state law that allows licenses to illegal immigrants since she was elected, and will continue to do that in January. She has asked the Department of Homeland Security if they will actually enforce the law next month. So far, they have not responded. Senator Tom Udall says he's also working with the feds to make sure people in New Mexico are not affected.
We'll have to wait for at least another month to see what happens with the Railyards in downtown Albuquerque. The City Council put off voting on the Railyards last night as they've gotten caught in a bit of a controversy. A group of volunteers from the Wheels Museum here have been trying to preserve these old buildings, hoping to make them a place where people can go learn about the history of the Railyards. Now it says the city shut them out of the talks, and the city says it's because the museum has a financial interest in the land and should not have a say in what happens with it. Well, tonight you'll have another chance to tell the city what you think of its idea to drastically change Central Avenue. The city's thinking about shrinking Central down to just 2 lanes for cars, 1 each way, or take out street parking so buses can go through there faster. Tell the city what you think tonight from 6 to 7:30 at the Loma Linda Community Center. That's on Yale, just south of Avenida Cesar Chavez.
A date has still not been set after 2 candidates have asked to have votes recounted in 3 Rio Rancho precincts. State Senate candidate John Doyle and Sandoval County Clerk candidate Paula Paponi, both Republicans, lost to their Democratic challengers. The races are close, but not close enough for an automatic recount. It is not clear yet how much the recounts will cost, but Doyle and Paponi will have to figure out how to pay for it. The 3 precincts are being recounted are near Puesta del Sol Elementary. That is where hundreds of people waited in line for hours to vote. According to Secretary of State Ken Ortiz, recounts are scheduled to start today for 2 races. The first recount will be the race between Republican Representative Terry McMillan and Democrat challenger Joanne Ferre in Doña Ana County. The race was tied. The other is in the Albuquerque metro area, where Republican Paul Pacheco leads Democrat Marcy Blaze by 66 votes. Recounts are required when the margin between the top finishers is less than a half point.
In the papers this morning, 2 of the police officers caught on this very controversial video, there it is, will not face criminal charges. That's what the Albuquerque Journal is reporting this morning. The prosecutors told the Journal they're not going to press charges on officers Ronald Sudan and Shad Solis after they were caught on camera with another officer back in August tasing one man 4 times and kicking another one over and over when he's pinned to the ground yelling, "I surrender." The other officer, Connor Rice, could face aggravated battery charges. Well, a number of stolen cars are now on their way back to their owners after undercover cops hit the jackpot Sunday night at a motel here in Albuquerque. This all started when undercover detectives were staking out this Motel 6. They say they saw 2 stolen cars in the parking lot, and Ashley Wisniewski and Joe Newberry, these 2, got in one of them and drove off. So police pulled the 2 over and arrested them. The detectives got a search warrant and went back to the motel.
While doing that, the detectives on scene noticed a white Dodge pickup truck in the parking lot, which they had information that it was stolen as well.
Now, overall, police say they found a total of 5 stolen cars and trucks and a number of guns. They arrested 4 people on Sunday night going into Monday morning.
Santa Fe police continue to search for 2 suspected serial shoplifters, and they're hoping surveillance pictures will help catch them. Cops say the 2 women stole more than $200 worth of merchandise from Kohl's in Santa Fe on Saturday. That was them right there. Then they tried to run over the manager, apparently, when he ran out into the parking lot to get their driver's license number. The manager says the same women hit the store at least a dozen times last month.
Not only are they shoplifting, but now they're becoming violent. And a lot of times, if they're shoplifting at Kohl's, they probably are shoplifting at other stores.
The suspects took off in a white car, maybe an Infiniti, with license plate 421 RLB. Now, you would think that would lead them right to the suspects, but the plate is not on file because it has not been used for quite some time. So if you know anything, please contact Santa Fe Police.
Absolutely.